Alright guys, the day is almost here. We are officially about 2 weeks from the release of Fantastic Four First Steps, as of the time I'm working on this video, and you already know I'm hyped for it. Now I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't as psyched when I first started seeing stuff about it, but the trailers have just been awesome, the main theme's growing on me, and I'm even at the point now that I feel like I gotta grab one of those crazy popcorn buckets. Like that Galactus head looks pretty sweet. For 40 bucks, you know that's gonna be a good deal.
What the
Now, as the hype builds up for the movie though, it does make me wonder what all happens to the team at the end of their movie. I mean, the post-credit scene from Thunderbolts shows what looks like the team arriving on Earth 616, and I'm guessing they didn't just randomly decide to hop between universes and just meet their multiversal neighbor. So seriously, why exactly does this happen? Well, if you're like me and you hang around the internet for too long, then you've probably heard about 3 main theories about the ending of the Fantastic Four First Steps. And if you haven't, well, I mean, you're about to. You clicked on this video, what'd you expect? Anyways, let's start with theory number 1. The Fantastic Four lose. Now, hold on, wait a minute, you might be saying, superheroes losing? In a superhero movie? Well, perish the thought, no way that happens! Okay, yeah, maybe there's a precedent here. Seriously though, this theory claims that while the Fantastic Four do manage to save the day and stop Galactus in the end, saving their world in the process, their universe ends up getting hit with a big old dose of cosmic irony and winds up destroyed anyway thanks to a random incursion. This ship we saw at the end of Thunderbolts is actually supposed to be their escape vessel, something to ride out the destruction while they punch a hole in space and make their way to the next available universe. Now I know this one kinda seems out of left field, but we do have a lot of evidence to back this one up. Now if you remember all the way back in the first teaser, we can see this shot of Reed at his blackboard, and it looks like he's working on a way into the multiverse. We also know that incursions were/are kinda being set up as a big deal since the release of Multiverse of Madness, with both the Marvels and What If being examples of showcasing and stopping one. I feel like we're about due to see more of the destructive side of one, like what all happened to that universe Doctor Strange visited in Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, it would be pretty hardcore and make for a pretty memorable ending to this movie. Okay, After Hour Comics here, currently editing this video, and I just thought of something. What if the incursion at the end of this movie ends up being the one mentioned at the end of Multiverse of Madness?
You caused an incursion, and we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, I got absolutely zero evidence that they're actually gonna do this, but hey, you never know. At the very least, it does give Marvel a chance to use that build-up for something instead of just leaving it dangling there. Anyways, moving on to theory number 2, the Fantastic Four lose, but are just kind of assholes about it. So this is kind of a weird one to me. I'm not really sure if I buy it myself, but I have been seeing a lot of attention being thrown at this one, so I gotta talk about it here. Anyways, the idea for this theory is that the big twist of the movie ends up being that Reed either wasn't able to come up with a way to stop Galactus before he gets to Earth, or that the team realized during the fight that they can't get the space god to just f off somewhere else, and instead the Fantastic Four just straight up abandon their universe in order to keep Franklin safe, which somehow tips off Galactus on the location of the main MCU, which is how they all arrive on Earth 616 for future movies. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know about this one. I know there are a few leaks that claim this will happen, and to be fair, this clearly isn't the same ship we see at the end of Thunderbolts. Like, even Kevin Feige hinted that these aren't the same ship, so we know Reed either has or built a randomly different ship for some reason. I guess it would make sense to have a backup, like something that could get his family out of harm's way if he knows that they aren't actually gonna save the day this time, but I don't know, this just seems kinda bleak for the FF, right? I mean, I know we haven't really seen this version of the Fantastic Four yet, but even so, it just seems wildly out of character that anybody on the team would even consider this, let alone that they would actually do it. Plus, it doesn't really make a ton of sense either. Like, okay, maybe Reed figures out the multiverse travel, but if the Fantastic Four can't beat him here, then why would they, intentionally or not, doom an entirely new universe by even chancing the idea that Galactus would follow them to a new world? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Which then brings us to theory number 3. That's not the Fantastic Four. So right off the bat, this one kinda makes the most sense, right? At least way more than the last one did. I mean, we did cover that whole Kevin Feige quote about these being 2 different ships, and it's still not really in character for them to just run away before trying to fight the big bad of their first movie. So if this isn't the Fantastic Four, then who is it? Maybe Doctor Doom?
That would be beneath me.
Well, no, we did get confirmation that Doom isn't in the movie, so I guess it's not him. Of course, we know these Marvel guys never lie, not even once, but hey, let's take this at face value anyway and just go with Doom not being in the movie. So if it's not actually the good doctor, then who's in the ship? Maybe it's because I keep seeing ads for the new Superman movie, but what if, and hear me out here, this is actually Franklin's ship? I mean, think about it. Kinda like Superman leaving Krypton right before it blows up, the FF sent Franklin out of their universe either ahead of the Galactus fight or right in the middle of it just in case they lose. Like maybe they even pair him up with Herbie so at least a part of them can help keep Franklin safe after they get to the main MCU. Either way, with Franklin now lost in the multiverse as far as they know, the FF have a pretty powerful motivator to start bringing all the pieces together before the events of Avengers Doomsday. So yeah, out of the 3 theories, I think I kinda like that last one the best. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like it fits and makes the most sense story-wise, but either that one or the incursions theory honestly work for me. Either way, I guess we'll see what all happens when the Fantastic Four actually take their first steps into the wider MCU on July 25th. But anyways guys, that's my take on how and why the Fantastic Four make it to the main MCU at the end of First Steps. If you guys like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and definitely leave me a comment letting me know your own theories about how the movie ends. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, check out all my socials, links as always are in the description down below. And with that, I will see you all next time.